Well, it looks like I have now got enough of a collection of Lenormand cards that I decided to do a video on my collection of Lenormand tarot. So here goes. I'm going to start with my very first purchase, and that is the Gilded Reverie Tarot. Of course. Did I say tarot? Gilded, wow, I can't even talk. This is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand by who else? None other than Ciro Marchetti. And I did buy the bag whenever I got it. I got this little set that he has. It's available through his website only. You can buy the Gilded Reverie Tarot through Amazon, but if you get it from Ciro Marchetti, you get this nifty spiffy bag that has his representation of Mademoiselle Lenormand, which, Ciro, you're extremely, extremely kind. She was not an attractive woman, and what you have here is someone that's not too bad looking. From what I've read, she was a wee bit on the hideous side. Then here we have that same painting again, kind of like it's like a school photo, and he has signed it at the bottom. And then here's the box. I think I may have done a review on this whenever I got it. I don't remember. But anyway, that's the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. And it was my first, and it made me very interested. I bought it just because it was Ciro Marchetti. I didn't really care that much about Lenormand. I didn't really know what it was. But when I got this deck, it awakened something within me that didn't really need to be awakened, because now I have more cards to collect. Yeah, so I started racking up the Lenormand decks, but never fear, I only have just a few. Actually, I only have 1, 2, 3, I only have 6, so that's not too bad. Next, I got the original Lenormand by Marcus Katz, and again, I bought this through the, I think it might have been the Tarosophy website, Marcus Katz's website. He has a book that he published, Learning Lenormand, and I have it here. I think I've already talked about this, but it's got this, he's published this book. In the book, he refers to this deck and uses it as an example, so way to sell, buddy. He got me, and so I have, you know, this deck of the Lenormand Tarot by Marcus Katz. And this one's pretty simple and straightforward. I think this is kind of going to be like my Rider-Waite-Smith, you know, kind of staple basic, you know, Lenormand card. It doesn't have words on it, which I also appreciate. Some of them do, and I don't really care for that. The Esmeralda Lenormand was the next one I bought, and I learned about this one from Donnelly, the tarot lady. And this was a really cool deck. Again, I bought this from the artist. This is a privately published, or I guess self-published deck. Huh, I have one card that's just a little different. Look at that. That's going to drive me nuts. You see how that one card's different? What's that about? That's weird. Never noticed that. Don't look at it. But anyway, these are them. They're very bright colored, and they're very different. It's kind of like a new age modern version. The Esmeralda Lenormand, and I think this is a kind of a cool deck. It's really kind of cute. It's got this nifty little bag and everything. I like it. Next we have the Enchanted Lenormand, and this one is by Caitlin Matthews and Virginia Lee. And Caitlin Matthews, of course, helped to create the steampunk tarot, the Wisdom from the Gods and the Machine. And so I got this deck. Now, these cards are also, I love these. I like the backings of them. I like the kind of natural colors that she uses. They're elaborate, they're ornate, but they're not overly, I don't think they're too much. I really like these a lot. When I start studying Lenormand, I could see where this might possibly be one of the more popular decks that I use. That one, and of course my Ciro Marchetti, because love it. Then we have the Lenormand Oracle, and this is done by Laura Tuan. Yeah, T-U-A-N. It was published by Lo Scarabeo. Now this deck is weird because this deck has like ginormous cards, and I talked about this in another video when I was talking about, you know, the possibility of doing, like, how big those are compared to, like, this is the Esmeralda box. It's obviously even smaller than that, but I was like, wow, why'd y'all make them so big? You know, with Lenormand, usually you use a lot of cards, especially like if you do a grand tableau. You're gonna have cards all over the place. You're gonna have like a whole room with like no furniture in it to lay these out on the floor. It's just really big cards. And then finally, I have the quote-unquote legendary 18th century oracle, Lenormand fortune-telling cards. I'm not really sure about that marketing. For those who have read at least even a little bit about Mademoiselle Lenormand, she didn't actually use these cards. She had her own kind of version of her cards. These were actually made later, after she no longer read them anymore. So Mademoiselle Lenormand actually never actually used these. I mean, the decks that are out there today may be based on her original cards as far as what they're called and the number of the cards, but yeah, it's like the way this makes it sound is like, this is the original Lenormand. Well, and I think he mentions in the text something about, you know, these are the cards that she used, blah, blah, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. But anyway, it doesn't really matter to me. These are pretty cool. They have words on them, though, so I'm like, but at least they're normal sized. You know, and this may be good for when you're, you know, starting out. You know, maybe I should be more open-minded. I'm realizing that about myself. I had a lot of snobbery going on last year, and I'm looking at all these decks again, and I'm thinking, you know what, no, I kind of felt snarky about it before, but I think I'm over it. I think I want to look at it now. But anyway, that is by Harold Jolston, and that's my most recent purchase, and I bought that back in September, so I haven't really been Lenormand shopping lately, but, you know, that'll come again this year at some point, I'm sure. And that's all I have for my Lenormand decks. It's a nice, brief little video. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day. Blessed be.